Hello buddy, San here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about the continuation of the Verv Therapeutics drama. Of course, yesterday I made a video on this. I went over the first and probably the most popular thread on Twitter in this case about Verv Therapeutics' latest data, preclinical data, I should put. Basically, it was a publication peer-reviewed, and it was on non-human primates, of course, on monkeys, and it was a mixed reviews of data. I would say it was more towards the negative side. This is what yesterday's video was all about, and it was titled as if Verv Therapeutics is hiding something, and I think it's getting a lot of views, a lot of traction. So clearly there is a need for me to do a second part, and that's exactly what I'm doing in today's video. I do want to mention, since yesterday there's a lot of new findings, and of course this thread here sort of dives into that exactly, and I want to spend a little bit of time going through the thread because now you're getting both sides of the argument. Biotech 2K1 side of things, which we actually covered their side in yesterday's video, but we're getting some couple of other folks on Twitter in this case to help out for the other side, the bullish case, or at least the optimist case, I should put. Or neutral, depending on how you see it, right? So, of course, this thread starts off by saying Beam should be up 20%, has Verv validates the base editing tag. Verv should be down 20% because the indication picked an indication where they offer no benefit or recurrent therapies. Okay, so we went over that yesterday's video. I'm not gonna go over it. Highly advise you guys to watch yesterday's video. You're gonna find a lot of good stuff in yesterday's video. You'll actually see my first reaction as I go through the thread. So there's that. Of course, we go into the numbers here. Someone's asking what's this all about. Okay, so this is where someone starts saying, well, Beam's gonna benefit from the future sales of Verv. Of course, that's because they license their tech out to Verv. Okay, so now we start getting into the juicy part. The liver enzyme elevation won't go well over investors in human. It never does. That is one of the top risks, and the first thing I look in for all studies. It was clearly listed in the study. They saw ALT and AST elevations for up to 14 days. Again, we covered that in yesterday's video sort of. Yeah, but it didn't disappear, right? Doesn't matter how much, as long as it clears up. So gene editing as that? No, because spikes in enzymes can cause damage. And then someone quotes that, I guess it's Mr. Simisek, says means nothing. You measure enzymes in blood that are normally in liver cells. Due to transient cell damage, these enzymes leak into blood, hence thus spike in enzyme. A transient rise in ALT, AST is not big medical concern. Then Ben, actually another popular individual in this community, says, agree with this. Also feel like Verv will have a hard time finding buyers for a treatment that alters DNA for which there are decent meds for already. This will be a challenge. I have no doubt it works and is safe. It might take some time to convince the general public it's worth it. And then Deep Value goes back saying, but if Verv is able to demonstrate safety in this large trial, gain approval, even a subset of that benefits the most, it will be a huge win for many other CRISPR companies, many of which are working on treatments that provide high risk relative to the condition treated. And I do want to remind viewers that CRISPR Therapeutics is actually working on heart diseases program as of this year. I agree we need data for sure. My point is Verv 101 is aiming to eradicate ASVD. This is big. Adding some color, Verv 101 is basically just a PCSK9 inhibitor. It's not like a magic infusion that cures ASVD. Okay, so this person is sort of, just looking at the actual basics of things, throwing some numbers here, looking good here. Okay, so okay, we go here. It was a 69% LDL-C reduction. Okay, so gene editing came back saying 69% reduction because this gentleman here's Big Boy Scout said it was actually 86 mean PCSK9 protein reduction. But the key here is the figure of LDL see reduction, because that's what the metric you can compare with statins, like we mentioned in yesterday's video. Keyword is mean reduction, which is what most people look at. That is the average of all patients in both 49 and 69% range. He used the data from a year ago. That means the mean reduction of all 1.5 dosings was 69%. I believe in this data. You only focus on the first few patients at the highest dose. Okay. So I don't know. They're going really back and forth here. I think there's some misunderstanding. I'm trying to go through this thread as I go through it with you guys. Okay, and their hope is that ends up just like it did with NTLA. I mean, I'm curious how many monkeys had ALSC. Okay, increases. Hope is not an investment strategy since the average of other PCSK9 drug on their market averages mid-60 efficiency, which is what we talked about in yesterday's video again. The editing should be considered risky. And then we ask, what's the bull case here? Realistically, Verv should shift focus to legit genome editing targets, which are serious undruggable diseases. Should probably always stay away from the liver. Unfortunately, it has become a bandwagon stock with uneducated investors. Sounds like everyone here is blaming the patients for not using the available LDL-C treatments that require daily, monthly, regular pill injections. Verv will fix this. Once your LDL-C is 50% down for a few decades, that is it, including primary prevention. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, I see what Simsek is mentioning here. Once your LDL-C is down 50% for a few decades, that is it, including primary prevention, which obviously Verv Therapeutics CEO talked about in one of their podcasts with ARK Invest, the whole prevention part of things. I'd like to see more detail on the statement LDL-C is 50% down for a few decades. That is it. I'd like to see more details on that. Ultimately, I do agree with the fact that the other treatments, if you have daily, monthly, regular pills or injections, then obviously a one-time or two-time dosage is obviously a lot better than daily, monthly, or even regular pills or injection. Doesn't matter, right? And then, there is an argument to be made that, ultimately there is an alternative there. And of course, it's going to matter how much cost and so on. I'll be honest with you, cost-wise, I don't think this thing is going to be cheap. I mean, we saw what Bluebird went for. CRISPR Therapeutics is going to go really for, in my opinion, the highest therapy as it is, because it's trying to do something that there's really no alternatives. Maybe this one will be, I'm not sure, like we're not even there yet. To be honest, we don't even have phase 1 data on humans, so I don't even want to start talking about cost, but yeah, so I see Simsek's argument here. I'd like more data on these types of statements, like once your LDL-C is down 50% down for a few decades, that is it. Yeah, this is going really, really interesting, guys. There's a lot of tractions here. I just noticed that Biotech 2K1 put the Verv at number 10 in their rankings, which I may make a video maybe tomorrow on this rankings, unless I end up doing something else here. But clearly a lot of drama. I want to finish this two-part series about the Verv, what is Verv hiding here. Of course, we're talking about the enzyme situation there with elevations. But clearly here the data is sort of, average. I don't know if average is what people were looking for, but again, these are on non-human primates. I saw something else that somewhere there that we're actually expecting better data on humans, just because it was on monkeys. I don't know how fair that statement is. I really don't know how fair that statement is. I'd love to see more data. But I think this is where we're going to have to end this video, guys. There's not much more for me to say about this. This drama has been going for a while. I think Verv Therapeutics is in it for, a ride. Let's take a look how they performed today, just because I want to see. And they were down another 3%, considering they were down quite heavily since the data was published there. So, 6-7%. It's not that bad, but I mean, it's still bad, yeah, we'll see what happens. Verv Therapeutics, guys, worth about $2 billion market cap. This is where we end this two-part series about what is Verv hiding. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. What am I missing here? Do you guys think this company is fairly stated? Do you think, are they really hiding something? Do you think there's more to say? Or do you think you're more in the neutral side of things, saying, you know what, we'll see what happens with human data. They've already dosed a patient for Verv 101, so it's not like this is all preclinical for the next year or so on. We are bound to get data in the upcoming months, right? So we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do like this video if you found value. Subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday night. Thank you.